So hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you some more international action. Not a let's play today, but a little simulation, a little experiment, if you will. As we reach crunch time in both the Euros and the Copa America, we're going to have a look at what would happen if one of the best performing teams in the Euros was transferred over to South America to take part in the Copa America. How would they fare? That's what we focus on in today's video. But before we get into it, don't forget that this is your one-stop shop for all things international management on Football Manager 2021 and beyond. So if that's your kind of thing, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, get the bell on for notifications so you don't miss any of the international action. Now, as you can see here on the screen, we've got the Copa America set up, but England are there in Group B. England have taken the place of Brazil. Why England? Well, when I did my simulations, my 10 simulations of the Euros, right back at the start of this summer's tournaments, England were the top performing team in those Euro simulations that I ran. So that's why I chose them. Why have they taken the place of Brazil? Well, Brazil were the top performing team in the Copa America simulations I ran. So in tomorrow's simulation experiment, Brazil are going to go the other way. But for now, let's focus on England. And before we go any further, get down in the comments and make your predictions. What do you think England are going to do in the Copa America? I think the group they're in, I mean, Colombia are going to be their toughest opponents, but Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, they've got to get top 4 in that group. They've got to be duking it out with Colombia for first place, I think. And then we're just going to see how the draw goes. In terms of the squad should have already been named, so I didn't interfere trying to make this the exact squad that's being used at the Euros. I just thought I'll let the AI go with it, so that's why we have Nick Pope and Dean Henderson and Joe Gomez and Tomori in here, and obviously in this universe Trent Alexander-Arnold is not injured. I mean, Eric Dyer is in the team as well, so it's a little bit different to the team that we've got out there in the Euros at the moment, but still a very strong squad. So yes, predictions please in the comments. How do you think this England team is going to fare against South America's best? Well, I think we can agree that England got off to a pretty good start, playing Colombia, the hosts. Now what I've done here, of course, the Copa America in real life was eventually switched to Brazil. As Brazil have been removed from this competition for the purposes of this experiment, I reverted to having the competition in Colombia and Argentina as it was originally planned. And as you can see, England steamrolled them. They dominated the first half, going 4-0 up thanks to a pair of braces from Kane and Sterling, then Declan Rice and Mason Mount in the second half, with Marino getting a consolation for the Colombians. I mean, looking at the stats, the Colombians actually did have their chances. It's just England were more ruthless on the day. On to the second group game against Ecuador, and we see here that the winning ways continued. Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford with the goals in a comfortable win. But then something of a shock. A first-minute goal from Peru, from Carrillo, who then scored one early in the second half as well, as Peru shell-shocked England to get a 2-0 win. But England bounced back in that final group game. Harry Kane again, another penalty for him, and Tomori coming up to get a goal. I must have come up for a corner, I would guess. So a 2-0 victory over Venezuela. So that's the 4 group games. Now, of course, there are 5 teams in the groups. So we can see here England the top of the group as things stand, but they're the first team to complete their 4 games. So there's one more round of matches to go. Peru already qualified as well, but Peru, if they get just a point in their final game, they're going to knock England off top spot. Then there's a battle between Venezuela, Colombia and Ecuador for the final 2 places. So let's fast forward and see who joins England and Peru in qualifying for the quarterfinals. And yeah, in the end, England did finish second. Peru are completing a whitewash of the group, getting a win in their final game. Let's see, 2-1 against Ecuador. Colombia would beat Venezuela to get 3rd spot. So Venezuela still go through in 4th place. So then we need to have a look at what's happened in Group A. So there we see Uruguay topping the group. Chile and Paraguay coming through. Bit of a surprise as Argentina are forced into 4th place. Now, of course, the way the quarterfinals are going to work is it's going to be first from Group A against 4th from Group B. So that means with England having finished second in Group B, it should be Paraguay in the quarterfinal. And indeed it was. England needing extra time, though, to see off the Paraguayans. They went behind much as they did against Peru, but this time immediately struck back. Raheem Sterling getting the goal, and then Harry Kane with another penalty. I guess he gets fouled a lot in South America, getting hacked down a bit, but a 2-1 victory for England sees them through to the semi-final. And elsewhere in the quarterfinals, Colombia beat Chile 2-0. Poor old Peru, they managed to top Group B with 4 wins out of 4, but Argentina slipping up a bit in the other group gave them a tough semi-final. Argentina went through. Venezuela beating Uruguay. So the 2 4th-place teams from the group stage make it through. And in the semi-finals, it's going to be Colombia against England and Venezuela against Argentina. Let's see if England can make it to the final of the Copa America. It's a funny old game, football sometimes, isn't it? So back at the start of the tournament, England completely wiped the floor with Colombia, 6 goals past them in a 6-1 victory. But in this second meeting in the semi-finals, they went behind to a very early goal, got a very quick equaliser. Went behind again, 2-1 down. Then Danny Ings made it 2-2. Zapata missed a penalty. Saka probably thought he'd won it for England, making it 3-2, but then in stoppage time, Uribe got the equaliser to force extra time. Then it was Henderson, Jordan Henderson, who got the winning goal in extra time. So England make it through to the final at Colombia's expense. But who will they play? Oh, it's going to be Argentina. So look at that. Argentina winning the battle of the 4th-place teams from the group stage with a 2-1 victory over Venezuela. De Paul and Aguero getting the goals. But the final, it's just one step too far for this England team, unfortunately. Messi opening the scoring, Sterling with the equaliser, John Stones with an own goal, giving Argentina the victory. But looking at the stats, only that one shot on target from Sterling. England just fading in the final. So England lose to the team that finished 4th in Group A. But you know, hey, that's the competition format. What can you do? But a valiant effort from England. So that means in my simulations with the Euros, like I said, England were the most successful team when I simulated the Euros 10 times, with 3 victories and a couple more appearances in the finals. They won the Copa Euro America when I did that experiment with the 2 tournaments combined together. And here in the Copa America, they've made the final, just losing out to a very good Argentina team. So, pretty good showing for England on these Football Manager simulations, it has to be said. And just for completeness sake, we can confirm here that Colombia beat Venezuela to finish 3rd. So Argentina winners, England 2nd, Colombia 3rd, Venezuela 4th. That's our Copa America England experiment complete. So do let me know down in the comments what you thought of this experiment. Did the end result match your initial expectations? And maybe make a cheeky little pre-prediction for the next simulation of Brazil at the Euros. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I'm Dodgy Gamer. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. See you again soon.